want to welcome you to the second annual MedStar Health Research Symposium. I look out in the crowd and I just smile. What a wonderful, wonderful day we have here, isn't it? I tell you. This is just the embodiment of what we do at MedStar as an academic healthcare system. And it's just great to have so many people come out and celebrate it with us. We have posted presentations from over 100 investigators from virtually every aspect of the system. This is just, again, a wonderful demonstration of how we create knowledge through research each and every day in our environment, in our community.
What we do is we provide a service for multi-center clinical trials by which we provide expertise in imaging for the heart, and we prepare protocols for different industry and federal sponsored trials that may require cardiac imaging for whatever reason.
So my research looks at antimicrobial fabrics embedded with antimicrobial materials. And the goal of these materials are to help reduce the transmission and acquisition of healthcare-associated infections.
So what we're trying to learn is what makes a good trauma resuscitation team good. With the idea that if we can determine that, then we can start to better understand and better train these teams to actually do their work in the most efficient way possible.
Our group is primarily interested in surgical wound healing, and that ranges, our focus is burns, but that ranges from other types of cutaneous trauma, and we really do everything from basic science, lab bench work, up through large preclinical models, and that's kind of just indicative of our comprehensive approach that we take to a lot of the questions that we're trying to answer in our lab.
We highlight the approach that we use, which was more of an interdisciplinary approach of pulling in occupational therapists, physical therapists, prosthetists, engineers, when discussing what are the best training techniques for the upper extremity amputee.
This is Diabetes to Go. It's looking at creating ways to teach patients who are in the hospital what I call survival skills, what you need to know to go home safely with your diabetes.
MedStar Health is a very, very special place because it is a huge clinical operation that is a fractal of healthcare in America. We have every single aspect. And this is a laboratory for us to discover and develop new knowledge. We're one of the few places where we are big enough and smart enough to be able to do theory and have all the place and the site to apply it in practice. Very few sites in the country have that magical combination.
As I'm a PhD scientist, and I have the ability to work with physicians all over and really reach out to a lot of different patient bases.
Working in an institution that's that broad allows you to collaborate with different people and then develop different aspects of research.
I think what makes research at MedStar unique is the patient pool that we serve and the research that we conduct using multi-institutional collaborative model to address questions that are very unique and very important to patients in this catchment area.
MedStar Washington Hospital Center is home to the region's only burn center. So we get burn patients from a wide geographic area, and so that really affords us the ability to really truly take our research from bench to bedside and back from bedside to bench, which is often how a lot of our projects go, with clinical work generating as many questions as it answers often for us.
But the concept behind how we go from simply being an organization that performs really well, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's more important to wake up every day and say to yourself, What questions do I need to solve today? So to have an idea about your own intellectual space, if you're a nurse, a pharmacist, a doc, wherever you work, and you say, what are the challenges in what I do today? And then writing those questions down, and then having the tenacity and the resilience to actually go through the process to answer those kinds of questions, well, that's the Holy Grail. That's where we want everybody to be.
We reinforce one another. We are able to provide an environment where trainees across the entire spectrum are learning about not just what to do, but what question to ask and how to refine an understanding of whatever the nature of the problem is, and being able to also have the ability to know how to formulate an approach to answering the question.
Our partnership with Georgetown University and identifying other collaborators and are getting our 10 folks in our 10 different hospitals together with each other and talking about what the common problems are and how we solve those, and our folks in our ambulatory settings. All those folks together brought collectively with that kind of horsepower that we see here today, there isn't a question that we can't answer.